We do not match today.
No, we don't.
Good morning, afternoon.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tote TV. I am Mary Beth.
I'm an amoeba. I'm Helen.
We are the creative hands and minds behind Toad Hollow, and you may hear some clicking noises. Those are the dogs getting in position, right? Are you getting in position, hun? Ivy is right at our
Are you
feet.
going to go underneath?
Okay.
There we go.
Anyway, welcome. We're so glad you can join us today. We are going to be knitting and chatting. And I don't think we really even have anything specific to chat about. It's just whatever you guys want to talk about. We are here.
I have a question for the group.
Okay.
I don't know whether we actually have a group yet, so I'll wait.
Okay. So we have had a week, pretty much as every week we have had a week.
But daylight savings just kicks my ass.
It really did. I was going to say daylight savings has knocked us all on our ass.
Yeah.
Every single one of us. The dogs are getting up in the middle of the night and needing to go out. I mean, when was the last time we had to take them down 2 times in a week?
Yeah.
It's been a really, really long time.
And it's not that they're sick. It's just that, dogs don't realize that the clock's changed and they
are going to bed an hour later, and their systems are off because they're getting fed an hour later because we insist on, sticking to traditional time. So they've been getting us up in the middle of the night, and then my body clock is just, it's 5 o'clock, wake up.
Yeah.
It may be 4 o'clock in the regular time, and I can't go to bed an hour earlier. So it's just crazy. So we're slowly but surely getting over that. It's been an adjustment, shall we say?
Yes.
Tempers are a little bit short. Frustrations are high.
Yes. Yeah.
However,
it wasn't the greatest week.
We are taking comfort in our knitting and creating things, crafting things.
Okay. So Carol says the new Helen Stewart Knit Advent was released to discuss. There was great discussion about that because it's her 24 skein, mini skein one. That's the first knit vent she always puts out. And you can knit it as a wrap, or you can knit it as a blanket. You can knit it with minis, or you can knit it with 5 skeins.
Or you can knit it with 1 skein or 3 skeins, however many you want.
5 colors, 1 color. Right.
There's been a lot of discussion.
Right.
And that will be coming into play on Tuesday, because Tuesday we're going to be talking about our
winter knits
and projects that we're planning to make, and that is very high up on mine.
Yeah.
So we will be discussing and showing you colorways for that.
Right.
So please hold on and come join us Tuesday.
Yes, new colors.
Okay. Helen's releasing all the information. Okay, go ahead.
Jess says that, she just loves my Battenberg. It's inspired her to have her husband make her an advent calendar out of her own hand-dyed yarn. So what a great idea.
That is a great idea.
That's such a cool idea.
I love that he's getting into it with you.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Because, I mean, part of the fun is opening up something that you don't expect.
Right.
Or that you expect, but you don't know what's in it. The mystery.
Even if it is your yarn, I mean, I'm sure you've forgotten you have it.
I was going to say, if you're like any of us, you don't know what's hidden in the back of the stash.
Right.
So, okay.
Joanne says the critters they're like children. They don't understand.
They don't.
Changes at all.
They really don't.
Jess has been leaning into the time change. Go to bed at 8 p.m., dog and all. God, I wish I could do that.
There are days. Honestly, there are days when I really wish I could.
And was it Sunday? Sunday, I think I was still okay, but Monday it was like 8:15, and I'm like, oh my God.
Put me to bed now, please. Please put me to bed.
Let's see. Guinevere says that rough week, thankful for the creative projects. Jess says we are dyeing them. The yarns that her husband's making, they're dyeing them together. She's winding them into mini cakes, and then he's wrapping them up and numbering them.
Okay.
What a cool idea.
That is very cool. That's fun.
Are you acid dyeing, natural dyeing? Just a question.
Kool-Aid?
Yeah. Ice?
Are you drinking the Kool-Aid?
Okay, so my question to the group is, have you steeked a sweater? And if so, have you used superwash yarn?
One of Helen's projects that she picked is a cardigan that is she's supposed to steek. So we dyed the yarn for it. We're all set to go. She bought the pattern, which, hindsight, we might have wanted to buy it beforehand. But anyway, she's reading through it, and one of the first things the lady says is, "Do not do this with superwash wool."
What she strongly suggests you don't use superwash because it's a sticky. It's not sticky enough. It's a slippery yarn. That's what I'm trying
It's
to
a
say.
slippery slope.
I have decided to go ahead. I have superwash yarn, um, and I have read up on it saying that if you're at all concerned, you can always use a sewing machine to grab your stitches. I have
And
never
Lord
steeked a
knows
sweater, so
we
this is
have
going to be
sewing
my
machines,
yeah.
so
This is going to be my first foray into steeking. This was a whole thing with telling myself I can do this. Um, and
I was reading this morning about daily affirmations and just saying the same thing over and over again to yourself, and you start believing it. And I heard you the other day when you were sitting in the chair. I can do this. I can do this. Like, daily affirmation.
right. Um, let's see. Jess says she's using mostly acid dyes. She has some dyed. She used walnuts and some oak bark, rhubarb, etc.
Oh,
Very
cool.
interesting.
Very cool.
Joanne has steeked a sweater with superwash. I assume it went okay, smoothly.
It's not a diagonal button band. It goes in a straight line, right, Joanne?
Marianne says she's going to crochet the one skein Wonder Cow in DK with the Queen of Hearts that she got in her mystery skein. Oh, that'll be cool.
That'll be cool.
Carol says she's heard that too about steeking, that sticky yarns that felt are the safest. And Denise says Arnie used a sewing machine to stabilize. I bet they have a podcast about it. Oh, okay. I'm sure they do. I will look up Arnie and Carlos and steeking.
Yeah.
Actually, that's what I'm going to do when it comes time to cutting. I'm going to go to the YouTubes and look it up, which is the only thing that is really giving me the courage to
The
go
strength
forward
to
with
go
this. Lena says, hello, dear ladies. Happy Friday. Hello.
Happy Friday.
Kimberly says, not a clue what that even means. Okay, steeking is when you knit a cardigan. You can knit it in the round, and you add in stitches going up the middle that you are going to ultimately cut and have it unravel to make it so that you can pick up your button band. And what it is I want cardigans. I'm loving the look of cardigans right now. I don't want to knit a cardigan flat. I don't mind purling. It's just I'd rather knit faster. So if I can knit it in the round, I will.
I know a lot of times, the ones that I've seen, it's not even so much that they're unraveling, it's that they've got the button band already done. It's part of it.
Oh, you
and
do.
Then they fold over the thing and
Yeah.
hand stitch it in.
You do the button band in this particular sweater that I'm doing. You do the button band before you cut.
Okay.
Joanne says she did a crochet chain reinforcement on her superwash sweater. It worked fine. I used 5 steek stitches. You got this. Happy to help. Cheerleading you on, whatever. Thank you very much. I do have 5 stitches on my steek band, so that's good. Cheryl says she's seen plenty of people do it with superwash. And just a daily affirmations told one of our daughters that has some extra mental health challenges. My mom loves me and it will be okay. That's a very good daily affirmation.
I think so.
Jess says she's steeked lots of times using all types of yarns, including cotton and acrylic. So I'm thinking this is good. Carol says Willie Thistle podcast about that too, but theirs is all non-superwash.
Are we getting UPS today?
I think it's next door.
Next door. Okay.
Joanne says just last month she knit a simple colorwork cowl. She added steek stitches and then steeked that as a demo for folks at my Spinners Guild. Oh, okay, great.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea to just demonstrate the steeking.
Elizabeth agrees with us about the time change. And Jess says, just make sure to secure with either the crochet chain or a sewing machine stitch reinforcement. I also covered the steeked edge with a coordinating fabric or ribbon. Well, that I plan to do the ribbon. If I'm going to go to the effort of cutting my yarn, I'm going to put in pretty ribbons.
Okay.
And
Well,
they
we
will
have
be
those.
machine sewn, so that will add extra reinforcement too.
Yeah.
And Jess says that's what she's using the ribbon she bought from us for.
Excellent. I always thought that that was a perfect use for the ribbons
Yeah.
because then when your sweater slips open a little bit, you've got that little pop. It's kind of like having the Burberry plaid inside the trench coats, the Burberry trench coats.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it flies open and you got that little pop of color and it looks really good.
Or when Dad wore his suit pants and he had his funky socks and he would
Yeah.
raise his leg and see the funky socks. Just says she really likes that a steek opening that is covered makes a really stable button band. Oh, okay. That's also a good thing.
Okay, so I am working on my traveler hoodie by Andrea Mowry that I am doing in the squirrel, which was one of our denizens of the forest, of the hollow, and that is how it is looking right now. It is so pretty. I love this color. Really love
Oh, it's
this
coming
color.
off really well.
Does the yellow show?
It hasn't hit yet. Hold on.
Okay.
Wait for it to catch up.
Okay. Anyway,
Oh yeah, no, you definitely can see. It comes up really well.
so it's a fun thing to work on right now. What are you working on?
Same thing I work on every Friday because it has not moved from the couch when we got up last Friday. In my Thomasina socks, I have maybe 4 rows before I can start doing the heel. And once I do the heel, then I'll just whip right through that foot. Oh, Jess says she uses the ribbon or coordinating fabric as a lining at the back of her neck on her sweater, so that she has a comfy texture there and can use it to poke yarn in if she likes underneath.
Okay, that is a really good idea.
Yeah.
Also, if you'd only put it in the back, then you know which is the back of the sweater because a lot of
Can I
times,
tell you how many times I hold up my hand? That
Yeah.
sweater's like, you the back.
are you the front or the back?
If I adjust the shoulders, either one can do.
They're really coming through fast and furious. So, what is everybody else working on? What are you guys working on?
Crickets.
I was going to say.
Everybody likes your sweater.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Maybe I will get it done at some point soon so that I can start all the other things that I want to start for the winter.
Well, we have plans
Well, we spent Wednesday we dyed a lot of yarn so that we're all set
for the winter projects.
and all the winter colors, so that it's I've got plans. I've got definite plans.
We are never short on plans.
That is true. I'm short on time most of the time, but not plans.
Sister number 3 is working on her Knockmore sweater. Is that the one you had when you were out here? I was supposed to send you a text, by the way. I should do that. This is why I come onto my live
To catch up
stream.
with sister number 3.
Just remind myself to text my sister. Yolanda says, good morning. She's going through some craft supplies, deciding what she's making for Christmas gifts this year. And her burlap has walked away from her somewhere.
Oh, do you remember making the pillows with the burlap? I hated working with those. Oh my goodness.
I understand the need for it, and Yolanda, I know your aesthetic, and it works perfectly for your aesthetic. But having worked with it so closely, I hate burlap.
Yeah.
Kimberly is working on a sweater for her son, and he'll probably be her age before she finishes. Denise is also knitting a sweater. She hasn't done one in years, and we have inspired her. Thank you.
Oh, good. That's very cool.
Jenny is working on granny squares with her Halloween countdown. Ooh, I can't wait to see that. Jana has all the squares on her Battenberg blanket crocheted and she's sewing them together now. Wow. Congratulations. That's a lot of squares. And are you hand sewing them or well, you must be because you're not crocheting. You've done them all ahead of time. Jess says she's working on her sweater for class with Tanaya knits a Minecraft sweater for one of the grandkids and endless socks and mitts. Marianne is working on clue 5 of the mystery shawl.
Oh, the Better Than Fiction. I am still on clue number 4. And the reason I'm not doing it today is because I wanted mindless. I wanted it to be something that I could not have to really follow a pattern for.
This has been a week for mindless knitting.
Yeah.
Carol's working on her quilty on the body now. So lovely Hallmark movie knitting. It's perfect.
Yes, we started watching holiday movies.
We have not had any luck so far. The couple we have watched have both been dreadful. I mean, like, not Hallmark movie dreadful, just like I would say unwatchable. Except we watched the whole thing.
We watched the whole thing. And I didn't fall asleep either.
Right.
One of them we watched, one was a Hallmark and one was a Netflix. And they were not good. However, I know that Hallmark hasn't released like the good 2024 movies yet. They're keeping those until a little bit closer to Christmas.
Yeah. We've started watching season 2 of The Diplomat, and that's very, very good.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Jess says she's also started plain squares for the Battenberg that she'll be doing with the Hubby Abbott yarns. And Janice says she is hand sewing. Gives them a flatter seam. I have no problem with the flat seams with the way she did it in the pattern, but I mean, I have no history to base it on. This is like the first one I've ever done like it. So Kimberly's also working on a Christmas cross stitch. Jess received a small embroidery kit to see if she likes it when her hand needs a break from the knitting and crocheting. That's how we started cross stitching, or how I did. I needed to give my arms and hands a break on the knitting. Oh, Amanda flew through the Diplomat. Yeah, I think we've only made it through two episodes, right? We haven't even hit Alice and Janney yet, which we're really looking forward to.
Yes.
How many skeins of Spectre did I use in my Battenberg blanket?
Do you have it on your Ravelry page?
I'm pretty sure I do.
Can I sign in to? Can I go to your Ravelry page?
You should be able to. Hold on that.
Marianne, what colors are you using for your Better Than Fiction shawl? I want to know what colors you're doing.
Jess says when she says she received the embroidery kit, that really means that she spent hours looking at embroidery kits and then ordered more than I can do in several years. I have no idea what that means or what that's like at all. Joanne is working on the Kate Davies Yorlin sweater for her sister, fingering weight all beige. Oh, wow, you love your sister. When she needs a break from that, she's working on the Glaswegian and Pluto Lopi that she got in Iceland, navy, pink, and white.
What's your name on Ravelry?
Helen HG 69.
Oh, look, there you are. Projects.
Marianne wants to know if you continental knit. I think you do, don't you?
I do whichever one.
She doesn't throw.
I don't throw. I hold my yarn in my left hand and put that way. 45 mini or gray squares, 9 100-gram skeins.
Okay, so I use 9 skeins. Mine is huge though.
Yeah, Helen did 25 by 25 squares. So
I was getting it to be big enough to not just sit on top of my queen size bed, not overlap at all, but just sit on top of it. Marianne is doing pink, deep green, and burgundy.
Oh, I bet that's pretty. I bet that's really pretty.
Gorgeous. Yolanda has found her burlap, so everybody relax.
Excellent.
Uh,
Very good.
she's leaning towards miniature Santa sacks with whimsical mushrooms coming from the bag. But then again, just found some cute wooden pieces. Well, that'll be really cute.
Have you guys started your Christmas shopping and holiday shopping and everything? Because, or making, if you're making things.
I just have a hard time wrapping my head around the fact that it's time to start thinking about that.
Well, it is the beginning of November, but if you're making things, you kind of have to start.
Jenny is working. She's finished clue 5 of the Better Than Fiction. She's using purple velvet upholstery, blue topaz, and something wicked. Oh,
So blue topaz is okay.
that's going to be
Oh,
gorgeous.
that is pretty.
And that is going to be really gorgeous.
Yeah, like a deep and stormy sea.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Very cool.
Oh, Marianne says it's good that you continental knit because there are lots of pearls in clue 5.
Okay. All right. Since I am planning to, cardigans are going to be playing into my overall winter aesthetic. I got to get my hands ready for the purling. And this, actually, this row, or this sweater does
pearls,
3
yeah.
rows of knit and 2 rows of pearls. So this is a lot of purling too.
Jess says she's finally realizing that she's got a crafting supply problem. They're remodeling, and the hubby had to put in an extra 2 posts that weren't supposed to be there because the new laminated steel wood beam. I'm not sure what that means. Oh, it started to sag because of the weight of the supplies.
Okay.
Okay. Janet's thinking of making Christmas fabric bags for putting gifts in instead of wrapping paper. Has anyone else done that? Will help her reduce her Christmas fabric stash. I have thought about that for that reason. Also, it's so much prettier. But a lot of our presents go to boys.
I know, and what are they going to do with it? That's the thing. When you give the Christmas bags, it looks really, really pretty, but what do they do with them?
Yeah.
Boys don't. You know? I was going to ask, if you're making things for Christmas, what are you making? We've thought about making quilts and things like that, but we never give ourselves enough time. And honestly, I'm such a selfish crafter that when I put that amount of time and effort into a project, I don't want to give it to somebody who is not going to appreciate it. It has to be the right person.
Somebody who's watching this podcast who would say they would appreciate it.
I know she would appreciate it, and she would be one that I would do it for. Although, if I'm making her a quilt, sister number 3, I'm just putting this out there. If I'm making you a quilt, it would be out of fabric that I really, really love, and I wouldn't want to give it up. And I'd have to make 2 of them.
Well, I think that will get better as we make more, because as your stack grows, then you'll feel it's okay. You have plenty that maybe, even if you're giving away some of the old ones.
Okay.
Let's see. Amanda has bought for the nephews and part of ours. Each of us.
Oh, what did you get for the nephews? Can you tell us?
I thought you were going to say, what did you get for us?
No. Can you tell us what you got for the nephews so that we, might be able to get an idea?
Carla says she and her friends are looking into buying things from overseas that might cost more next year, like Chagu knitting needles and Australian fiber. Oh my God. I didn't think about that. I'm going to need to stock up on my Chagu.
Oh, yeah. Did not think about that at all. Okay.
Cheryl said that the news said this morning it's 47 days until Christmas. Jess says her husband wasn't a happy camper about having to literally support her massive stash of supplies and equipment.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Jess says that several of her grandsons said that they really wanted bags for Christmas/Hanukkah that fit their Nintendo Switch and game cards. Just a thought.
Okay.
Elizabeth says she's making table runners. They're easy and fast to make, as opposed to making a quilt.
Idea.
And we have some really good table runner patterns.
Also, we have a sister-in-law who decorates for Christmas for every holiday. She does such a beautiful job decorating the entire house for the holiday that she might appreciate a table runner.
Yes.
And I have also seen people use a table runner, a slightly longer table runner, for like a thing to go across the bottom of their bed. We've mentioned this before, but instead of making an entire quilt, if you have a comforter, say, that you really love, that you're not going to take off to put a quilt on, having a strip that goes across the bottom of the bed for the holidays is really a neat way of dressing up your bedroom.
Kind of cool to go across the back of this couch too,
It would be.
especially for when we have a cat.
Okay.
Joanne says that wasn't why she got divorced, but it was a great side benefit. I'm not sure what that's in reference to, but I'm sure.
We got your back, Joanne. We support
Yep.
you.
Amanda got the nephew's Nerf mitts that shoot pellets like Spider-Man. That is awesome.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
Yolanda says when making gifts, she usually starts in November, depending on how many she needs. This year, she's leaning towards Christmas ornaments. She said, we will see.
We had a cousin who did Christmas ornaments every year, and she just got like very simple wooden shapes, like a Christmas tree, and she would paint them all green. And then she would write something that was special for you, like if you graduated high school that year, or my mother and father and two younger brothers went on a trip to Idaho one year. They drove across the country. She put that on it so that every year you take out your ornament and it's like, oh yeah, do you remember when we did
Right.
this kind of
They
thing?
were
That was
great.
kind of fun. That was a neat idea. Sadly, we're not doing anything, so there's nothing to put on it. But I like that idea of the Christmas ornaments.
Jess says they bought the house next door to store more of her hobby supplies.
You
I think she's serious.
you actually bought a house for your craft room.
That's pretty cool.
That's very cool.
Oh, Marianne says that when her nephews were younger, she gave them a fleece blanket and a box of Girl Scout cookies on the bed. Christmas Eve was a big hit. I fully expect that from you. Thank you.
Okay. Especially the box of Girl Scout cookies.
I saw somebody was one of our local fabric stores is doing holiday classes, and they're going to be making blankets that are flannel on one side and minky on the other. And I thought that would just be an awesome blanket.
I'm actually wondering because we used to make bibs using or taggy blankets using minky, and it was miserable, absolutely miserable.
Oh yeah, and I'm
But
assuming they've gotten better at it
also, we've gotten better machines,
because people use it all the time,
right?
and it's a very big thing right now.
But I'm
Packing quilts with
wondering
them.
if you do like if you have the minky on the upside, on the top, so that's on the flannel is going under the presser foot, or the
Under
feed
the feed
dogs are
dogs, yeah.
grabbing the flannel so that it might be a slightly smoother
Yeah.
so.
I just remember it going everywhere.
It was,
And
and I think if you were
it's
going to
slippery.
do if you were gonna do a blanket with, like, flannel and minky, I think I would do it right sides together, leaving the hole at the bottom to turn it
I'm
inside
pretty
out,
sure
and
that's what they
don't
did.
worry about, like, binding it or
No,
anything
you would
like
top
that.
stitch it and
Yeah,
yeah. Okay. Jane just learned that her daughter-in-law is making gnomes from pine cones, and theirs will go right on the tree. That's a cute idea.
that is.
Jess said the boys wanted the bags to be slightly padded to protect their Nintendo Switch screen because they take them everywhere. It's a really good idea. Take it in the car.
Yeah,
I'm assuming they have a Switch.
they do because they were gonna bring it up and show us a game.
Yeah,
They're bound and determined that we're gonna learn how to do these
to
things.
be gamers. Yeah.
They're boys.
Look, if I want to relate to them on any level,
All
I'm
you have
going to
to
have
do
to
is
do it.
learn
Plants
Plants vs.
versus
Zombies. Every time we talk to them, the 5-year-old 5-year-old? Yes, the 5-year-old, um, wants to know how far we've gotten. What level are we on? And I
and
have
I
to
lose more and more
tell
respect
him
every time I say
with
I haven't
absolute
played it
shame that I have not gotten any further.
than the last time I saw him. Uh, oh, Carla and Joanne are going back and forth about the divorce, and Carla's saying she keeps saying that's how she lost 250 pounds of dead weight.
I love that.
Jess says to be fair, it wasn't just her that thought of the house next door would make a good place to store overflow of hobby supplies. Hubby has wood and a skid steer next door too.
That's good.
Yeah,
It's really good when you both have hobbies that, nobody can point fingers and say anything about, like, time or money or
yeah.
any that sort of thing. It's just you each have your own thing.
And they're using it as a guest house, but the two garages provide nice storage, and the mortgage costs less than the storage unit. Wow.
Well, that's
Yeah.
nice. That's very good.
Um, Yolanda says her friend made her a gorgeous quilted wall hanging for fall, but she leaves it up all year in her hallway. Smaller than a quilt, but just as lovely.
I have seen quite a few of those,
Yeah.
and, um, they really are beautiful, the ones that they have, and these silly quilt stores keep thinking that we want things. Hey, Helen. Oh, okay, I was gonna say take it off. Um, like quilt kits and things like that. Somebody sent us one with reindeer that actually is a really, really cute quilt. Um, but it would make, if you only use one or two of the reindeer faces, it would make a really, really pretty pillow, or a table runner if you did them going across. Another thing that would be fun that I've seen are placemats, and each of them has their own placemat for the holidays. So you can make them. I've seen them where they're uh, like Christmas fabric, and then there's a mitten that's actually a pocket that the spoon and fork and knife go into, which I always think is such a cute idea for kids. They know exactly where to put their utensils. Um, but there are a ton of smaller Christmas projects that we always say, oh, we should make this, and we're going to do this for our Christmas presents and that kind of thing. And then we never get around to it. However, maybe this year, maybe this will be the year that the Christmas fabric gets used. We were looking for something and we found 2 crates full of Christmas fabric that we just need to put into something, make them into one project or another, um, if only to get rid of the boxes. I'm getting rid of boxes of Christmas fabric. I was
Oh,
talking
okay.
about making placemats and things with Christmas fabric for the holidays.
So weird. I'm sitting on the couch, but I'm not sitting on the couch.
Oh, that's very strange.
So did you get the comment?
No, I did not.
Oh,
I
okay.
can't see. That's way too far
Okay.
away.
Let's see. Patricia says, funny story. She was listening to the podcast on Tuesday with her earbuds. And a few times when our puppy barked, she got up to tell her dog to stop barking. She looked at
Sorry.
her like she was crazy.
At least you were listening to it with your earbuds, because we have so many people who tell us that their dogs answer ours when they're listening to it without earbuds. And
Right.
I apologize for that to everybody. However, the guys are with us all the time, so you get to hear them.
Joanne says her sister made a bunch of flannel gift bags and reuses them every year for the kiddos and grandkiddos. That's a good idea because then they know, they get used to which bag is theirs.
Right.
Oh, just as one of the teen grandsons wanted a special bag for his birthday that he can put his Dungeons and Dragons dice into. I've seen a lot of those.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
I don't think our guys, the nephews, are into Dungeons and Dragons or any kind of dice games yet.
I don't think, yeah, I think they're still too young on the whole
Yeah.
role playing thing. I do like the idea of you holding on to the bags each year, almost like Santa sacks or something.
Yes. We were thinking of doing Santa sacks one year when we were at the store. Did we do them?
I don't think we ever got our act together in time.
Figuring them out.
Yeah.
And we've got so many more years of bag sewing under our belt,
was
so
gonna
we
say
could
we
do
were
it so much
really
easier.
Novices at the time,
Yeah.
because now the idea is just like, duh. It's kind of chilly in this room.
I'm trying to figure out what kind of bag you would use. Would you do like a place for everything bag for the Nintendo Switches? So they have little zipper pockets for their the games.
I don't know enough about the accoutrements that come with
Yeah.
the Nintendo Switch. We'll just have to get one.
Do you know what? There's a tech bag. We've got a tech
do you know
bag
what
from
they would-
Bianni.
It would blow their mind.
What if we gave them a Nintendo Switch?
You know, if there was one here when they came here.
It probably would.
It's for research.
Is it worth the money to get something that will just sit there 360 days of the year? I mean, think about your time and what we want to do.
I get wrapped up in. We did it with the Wii. We got wrapped up in it, and that's kind of. It's kind of like games on my phone.
Right. I don't want to get sucked into it.
Sucked into it's almost like an addiction. I get sucked into them, and then that's all I want to do. And it's just like, remember that stupid Jewel game we would play?
Yes. It's basically Candy Crush only with jewels.
But it was on the Was
Yeah.
it on the Wii?
Yeah, it must have been.
I mean, it's the only gaming system you and I have ever had.
No, didn't you have a Nintendo? I think you had one.
Did I have one?
I think so.
Oh yeah, because so maybe it was on that. Anyway, it was on some stupid gaming system. And it was like Candy Crush. It was a dumb game.
And then we got
we
a
would
ton of
sit there
games
for hours.
that we never did anything. I mean, there was a pirate game that we got that I don't think we ever opened.
The
There
thing
were
is,
so many.
my hand coordination
Yeah.
is not meant for pushing buttons. So that I suck at the games where you have to do like the high jump kicks and
Right.
that kind of thing.
I just never got into any of it other than Bubble Bobble.
And that Jewel game.
Yeah. But then I get mad at myself because, like, when I'm doing Candy Crush on the phone or that sort of thing, I get so mad at myself, and I do get to the point where I, make sure that I'm taking the guys outside so that I can play this game.
Right.
I'm going to get my time, got to figure out how I'm going to get my time in. And there's so many things that I would rather do. I would physically rather do something else, but like my mind is saying, no, you've got to get time in on this game.
Well, I justify my New York Times games every morning because that's a brain game.
Yes.
And I'm using my brain.
Yes.
There is no justification unless somebody can come up with one for me for Candy Crush.
No, I don't think so.
Or any of those games. Like they do the ads for June's Journey.
Right.
And I think, oh, maybe I'll get that for my phone. Because every so often I do want to just be able to shut it all down, the brain, and just play a stupid game. But then it's telling myself to stop.
Yeah, well, with June's Journey, you have to find things. It's a search game, so you have to find things.
So there is a certain amount of
Using your
using
mind
your brain and
and
keeping the brain
you're right,
alive.
focusing the eyes and that
Right.
kind of thing. But um,
Like Candy Crush. I mean, there is the searching for the candies,
right.
but
The amount of stupid ads that I sat through because I needed to get to the next level of my game, and you have to sit through 5 seconds of the ads because they're so full of ads. Um, oh my God, I get so mad at myself that I just have to take them off.
you guys are getting just like a little too much into our brains. Let's go back to the comments, shall we? Let's see. Cheryl says for her crafty friends, she wraps their presents in fabric. That's a great idea because that's part of the gift.
Yes.
And Penguin Pullover says hello from Germany. Better late than never.
Hello.
Hello. Jess crocheted a mesh market bag, and the littlest granddaughter uses it as her Barbie bag. She uses it to haul all the princesses and Barbies around because it stretches to fit all the arms and legs.
Well,
That's a
that
great
is a
idea.
really good idea. And Marianne, can I tell you, we're washing our woolly socks today, and the market bags that you crocheted for us that year are our sock bags. And we collect all our woolly socks in them and bring them downstairs, and then we wash them and we'll wash and everything like that. But every time I bring down my bag of socks, I think, oh, this is from Marianne. So it is, they are getting used
Yeah.
all the time. Thank you. And those are a great present.
And it was something that when we were moving the operation here from the other house, that I had to make sure I found where it was and got
Right.
it up here. Amanda's going to bring out her Switch to show us.
Oh, okay.
Well,
All right.
Switch. Well, teach me how to switch.
Yeah. Well, you can teach me how to do it and show me what's
What takes more patience? Janet says she would love to see a bag with a Toad Hollow logo on it. Hint, hint. We have several seconds and thirds on that. So noted.
Okay. We will come
Merch
up
is a
way.
thing that we are working on.
We will come up with a way. It's going to cost, $400, but we will come up with a way to foundation paper piece the
I was going
logo.
to say, and this is it. We can go to a merchandising place, have them make us tote bags with our logo on it for very little effort whatsoever. But no, Mary Beth and I are like, either we're going to hand embroider it or
Oh, I didn't think of embroidering it.
well, English
That's a
paper
good
piece.
idea.
All God forbid we should go with the easy way out.
Right?
No, it's got to be the Sistine Chapel every time.
Well, my first thought was
Amanda has bubble bobble on her Switch.
my first thing was to do the transfer.
Right.
Because we did quite a few bags where we did transfers, and some of them are really, really cool. Amanda brought up a project the last time she came up that had the Halloween cat on it, and that was a cool bag. I mean, that was a really cool bag. So that if you had like the canvas with
Right.
the
Well,
the
we did
Toad
it.
Hollow logo.
Those were the great bags.
Oh, actually, there's one right over there.
They had the different color
Bottoms and
bottom and
handles.
handle and the coordinating handles.
Yeah.
But
But
and they
nobody
looked
bought
really
them.
great.
They were
Well,
pretty, but
because they were handmade bags, and
yeah.
nobody wants to spend that kind of money on a tote bag. Anyway, Joanne says she has a navy boiled wool purse that she bought from us several years ago. That's still her go-to purse, and she loves it.
Oh,
Those were nice bags.
those were nice bags.
Those handles.
It took me
appreciate
longer.
your handles because those handles. Oh
It
my
took
God.
me longer to put the handles on than it took to make the entire bag.
Yep.
Those handles were such a pain in the neck. But they looked really good. I've got a couple of them, and those were really, really nice bags.
Joanne says she's a software developer, and most of her much younger coworkers are gamers, and she's the odd non-gamer in the company. Jess is the only one that she liked was a Scrabble type game that she could play with and against her husband.
We would do, was it Words with Friends that we
yeah.
did? We did that for a while that we were doing it. And I
I
have
mean, my
done
favorite
online
things,
Scrabble a couple of times,
yeah,
but that's
are the Wordle, the connections. I love
strands.
the strands, yeah.
Yeah, I do like that. I also kind of like Sudoku.
Sudoku never, Sudoku frustrates me because I can't get it. Okay. Jess says she thinks she spends so much time in front of a screen daily that spending time to play a game will never actually, where she'll never win something just doesn't appeal to her. I think part of it too is it's for us, the addiction is the competitive nature of it. It's like, I've got to go one more level. I got to go
Right.
one more level. Cheryl says the Stitchers are making jewelry makeup boxes for their tools. You could do that to hold the game cards. Oh, okay. Because we did make we took jewelry cases and made them into little boxes that we want to do
Which,
others.
by the way, I have seen that Fat Quarter Shop is now doing it. They're not putting fabric on, they're just getting pink ones, but they are fitting them out with tools and stuff, and they look really, really cool. I have frogs on mine. Mine is the coolest.
Denise was addicted to Tetris, and now it's the New York Times spelling bee. I love Tetris.
Yeah. Okay, so the spelling bee is one of the few that I can't get into.
Yeah, I just don't.
And
That
I
one
would
I
think
never.
that I would,
Right.
but it's one of the few that I don't do. One of you guys suggested waffle and polygonal
Yeah,
maybe,
waffle is one of my daily ones.
and I love the polygonal. That
Um,
one I really, really like.
and I love Mondays when we get the deluxe waffle because if I can get the deluxe waffle without having to go over on the guesses, I just feel like I'm brilliant.
I never do that.
You never do the deluxe
No, I never do.
because they let you go like with the daily waffle. If you run out of chances, it stops.
Yeah.
But the deluxe, they'll let you finish the puzzle.
Oh,
It's
they
just that you
will.
didn't get it
Oh, okay.
in the 20 tries or whatever.
Okay.
Kimberly says if she needs to have something to do for a few minutes, she typically likes to play the slot machine games.
See, now that I will not do because that I know I just go, we are
I don't think she means like literal slot machine.
right, but um, we are close enough to Atlantic City that we would go down every now and then, and I would have to go down with like 20 bucks in my pocket, and that was it. I couldn't do anything else because I will just keep going until I
Because you always know that the next one's going to be the big one.
that's the thing. You know that it is, and it's
Because
just
I have that kind of luck.
but I have that kind of mentality that
Right.
I will go through everything. You know,
For the quick and easy.
we have a great grandfather who gambled away his store. Um, he lost it on a card game, and it's just it's in the blood. So I do not do anything that revolves around actual money. Although we have a game called Tripoli that is part poker, part hearts, and we used to play that all the time with spare change and M&Ms, and that's fun. I really want to introduce that to the
You must
boys
see Mary
because we
Beth
had.
flip a table.
I never
Play a game
did.
her with her.
I never did. Never did that. And I have to tell you, I have never flipped out when a 7-year-old beat me at chess. I kept my cool. Anyway, I'm very competitive.
I am too. I'm just also I'm afraid of conflict, so I usually internalize my struggle. Jess says she's been to the casino a couple times and she actually likes watching people play more than playing. I'm way more interested in the buffet.
I never did it to go for the food.
And I think that explains because Jess has been saying all along that she doesn't like the digital games or anything like that. She just doesn't get it, and I think that's what it is. Um, Oh, Amanda says she's shocked that you think you're competitive, and she has, look at her little shocked face. Um, but there are differing personalities.
Right.
Like our mother, she'll play if forced to play a game or something like that, but she is not.
Oh, yes, she is. In her prime? Oh, yes, she was.
Maybe that's why she wouldn't play.
Yeah.
Our grandmother,
Oh, she
just
has no interest in it whatsoever.
what?
Gran, she
Yeah,
had nothing.
Gran had no interest, and it was just like, oh, okay. And it gets annoying when you're competitive when you're playing with somebody who's just playing for the sake of playing.
Right.
It's just like, could you pay attention, please?
Well, Gran would do it. Gran would play bridge, and her partner would tell her what card to play
Right.
because he knew exactly what she held, and she wasn't doing it fast enough.
Yeah.
So he would just say, "Oh, just play the jack." Um, our other grandmother, Dad's mother, loved playing cards,
Oh yeah.
and our dad was master level bridge player, so he um he really enjoyed it too.
Pretty sure she's the one that taught me how to play Jim Rummy.
Probably.
Yolanda says she's still trying to get Mario over the mushroom from the 90s.
Me too, Yolanda. Me too, because whenever I did it, I would get so mad because it wouldn't do what I wanted it to
And
do.
that, being competitive, you get frustrated.
Hmm.
Right? You don't pick up because I'm good at the mind games like bridge and card games and that kind of thing. Like I used to love playing hearts so I could shoot them.
Right.
I mean, like that was my whole purpose in playing hearts was to try and figure out how I could shoot the moon. But the digital games where I need dexterity and stuff like that, and I'm not good at it, then I get mad.
And it's with crafts and things too. I get frustrated when things do not go the way I want them to go the first time.
Right.
I'm doing a new bag by Annie because she is a more difficult bag to make. And I'll be doing one of her project bags and it doesn't go the way it's supposed to. And I have to pull out stitches. And I get very frustrated at myself that it is not working the way it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I should be able to do this very fast and very easily, and it doesn't. I mean, just this morning, trying to work on a very small part of a project, and it wasn't going the way it was supposed to. And I was getting frustrated because I'm taking up this time that I have allotted to do something, but I'm having to take out stitches because it didn't go the way I wanted it to go.
I mean, and part of that was too, we started off by, having to fix the tables.
Right. And it's all user error.
Yeah.
I understand this. And the more, what were we just talking about that um, making the bags, putting in the zipper? Oh, it was making skirts, and getting the gathered edge
Oh, right.
underneath the waistband and that kind of thing.
Oh, the blouses.
And the
The
blouses.
blouses getting
And
frustrated
just
with that.
doing it over and over and over again. We have to do more of them because the more we do, the faster and easier and better we are at it.
Look, I was putting the zippers in this morning, and it was just like
Zip zips and
how
really
fast it went. Kimberly bought Candyland for her 3-year-old granddaughter, and we played. No kidding, at least 2,000 times. She won 0, not a single game. Was that by choice?
Helen
Or
would get so mad at me when I wouldn't let the boys win at games when they came to visit us, and she's like, "You need to let them win." No, I don't. I really don't. However, now they run rings around me on just about everything.
yeah,
I mean, what they do with chess amazes me because when I was 9, I barely knew what the chess set meant.
right.
And they are doing like difficult level things because they watch YouTube videos of kids playing chess and then they do it. And I think that's fantastic.
And I think it's so good for their brains.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty sure Braden is in a chess club at school, that there's an after school chess club that he's in.
Penguin Pullover says she can't gamble. She'll spend her pocket money on yarn. And Jess says gambling makes her think about she could be spending the money on something that she'll enjoy longer. Craft supplies. You're a very stable person.
Well, that
I
is
gamble
true.
thinking
I'm
I
going to
could
make.
spend this money on something I really want to, or I could triple it.
And then I'll be able to get 3 of them. Even having, the gram luck and knowing that I'm not, I
Yeah.
still will think that
Yeah. Oh,
way.
absolutely. Um,
Please let us
at
know
least I
where to
have.
send the payment for our therapy sessions.
I mean, we know that to stop ourselves.
Well, that's why we just don't do it.
Yeah.
It's not something that we do now.
Kyla says, "Good for the boys. Her friend's son got a partial scholarship to college to join the chess team. I'm going to send that down to their father.
Oh, yeah.
Those kids are going to be
If soccer doesn't work out,
forced into chess."
let them get into
Yeah.
chess.
Jess says she's so competitive that the thought in her head anytime she's struggling is, "This will not kick my butt. I will succeed. I will learn how to do this, whatever this is." I am competitive too, but I'm also lazy. It's a problem.
Yeah. Which is going to win out, the competitiveness or the laziness? As I relax further into the couch, and just before you know it, you're not even going to see my head. I'm just going to be laying down.
Kyla says University of Maryland, Baltimore County. I'm not sure what that is in answer to, but our brother went there.
Yeah, he didn't do Baltimore County. I think it was Cook County.
No,
Cook County, Maryland.
I'm pretty sure it was Baltimore. Prince George's County. Prince George.
Okay. Yeah, he went to the University of Maryland. Go Terps. Maybe that's where the scholarship was.
Oh, that is. She says the college where he got it.
Well,
Well,
that
that
actually
actually
would
is
work
really
out
good because
perfectly,
they live in
'cause
Virginia
and the
and they're
alma mater and
yeah,
all that.
College Park. That's where he is.
Yeah,
That's Amanda coming in.
thank you.
Um, Tawana says she lives in Maryland, but she's a Wahoo. I'm assuming that's a college. And Denise
What
wants
would
to
it
know.
be, George Washington
Oh, maybe
or Washington and Mary? Is that in Maryland?
UVA.
Okay, never mind.
That would work for them too because they are in Virginia. Um, Denise wants to know how we developed our great sense of color.
Um, well, somewhere or other, we got a creative gene from my mother, not from my grandmother, her mother, because
And not from my father.
um,
And not from my father's side of the
my
family.
great aunt.
Yeah.
My great aunt was great with making things. However, we look at the internet is a wonderful place for
Pinterest.
finding things. You go on Pinterest and you see these gorgeous pictures that people have made, and you start putting together colors from them. Also, nature, um, flowers, and you look at a flower bed and look at the different colors inside a flower bed and how they all come together, or the birds. We were trying to figure out what one of our yarns was, and it turned out it was the blue lazuli, the lapis lazuli
Yeah.
bird. It was one of the birds we used for the denizens of the hollow. But just looking at the birds and the different colors in their wings and that kind of thing, and putting them together, it just
Also, creativity is a muscle.
right.
Because when I first got out of college, I went right into the business world, and I would never have considered myself a creative person at that time until I left that world. And it was a couple of years into us having our gift store that I started to realize that my creative juices started to flow more and more.
Right.
So since we are creative for a living, we just get better at it because we
Yes.
are immersed in it all the time.
And that's the thing too. We are constantly looking at things, at fabric and um, beautiful things that we work with that we can translate into
Right.
color combinations. However, I
Because
have
I
not
think
worked with fabric enough that it takes me so long to put together fabric pieces if they're from different collections. I love getting an entire collection because then I know I can make a bunch of different things that are going to go beautifully together without having to worry about it.
I was going to say, I think if you sat us down and said, pick color, draw something with all the colors to go together with no inspiration whatsoever, I would have a harder time because I do not have that artistic talent.
Right.
I have the artistic talent of being able to see that somebody else put beautiful colors together.
Right.
Let's see. Beth says Sundays after church they would have dinner, then play pinochle at her grandmother's house. I don't think I've ever played pinochle.
I think it's kind of a cousin of bridge, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
Do you need tricks for pinochle? I think you might.
Joanne actually has to go back to work.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it is. It's getting to that time.
Yolanda says 10-year-old grandson was here for a sleepover and he gave her a big hug and said, yeah, please don't make me do crafts. Beth says yes, it is like bridge.
Okay. All right. All right, guys. It is 1:00. So I
Wow,
think
that went fast.
I know it did. I think we are going to call it for today, just because people do have to go back to work and we have to keep going.
These two included.
Yeah, we have to go back to work. But thank you guys so much for coming and joining our the lunch hour with us. This was fun.
Kim has one more blanket questions. Did we have a specific order that I put my colored squares in, or did I do it randomly? I did it randomly, Kim, because I was using mini skein sets of ours. So I would take a mini skein set, crochet up all those squares, then put them into the blanket random, kind of in order, but randomly, and then I would move on to the next mini skein set. So if you look at my blanket, it's, here's the Keeper of Lost Things, here's the Secret Gardens, here's the blah, blah, blah. So that's how I did mine. Just because taking on it, the squares as a whole and having to do all of them first was just, I knew I'd never do it.
Right.
So that I needed to be able to do a section, put it in, do a section, put it in. I'm saying have a great weekend. Twana's heading to the Alpaca and Fleece Festival tomorrow.
Oh, enjoy. Have a great time.
Yes. It should be really good yarn weather.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be chilly. So thank you everyone for joining us today.
Okay, we will be back on Tuesday.
Right.
We're going to be talking about winter projects, showing the yarn that we're planning to use for the winter projects, talking about a whole bunch of stuff all revolving around yarn.
Yep, knitting.
So, knitting, lots of knitting. You're not planning to do any crochet projects, are you? It's all knitting?
Yeah, it's all knitting.
It's all knitting. Okay. All right. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody.
Go forth and create.
And we will see you on Tuesday.
Right. Bye.
Bye.